If you've been eating regularly, trying to nourish your body, and still struggling to gain weight, it's easy to feel confused or discouraged. Many women quietly wonder why weight gain feels so difficult when they're doing everything right. For women between 30 and 45, the answer is often not food, it's hormones. Healthy weight gain depends on balance between estrogen, progesterone, and cortisol. When cortisol stays high from stress, and when estrogen and progesterone can't fully deliver calming and rebuilding signals, the body stays in protection mode. In that state, it burns energy instead of storing it, even when you're eating enough. This hormonal sensitivity becomes stronger after 30, as stress recovery slows and the nervous system becomes more reactive. In this video, you'll learn how estrogen, progesterone, and cortisol influence weight gain, why forcing food often backfires, and how gentle hormone support helps the body rebuild naturally. Why your body won't gain weight until it feels safe. If your body doesn't feel safe, it won't build, no matter how much you eat. Many women feel confused when weight gain doesn't happen, despite regular meals and good intentions. You may be eating more, adding snacks, and trying to nourish your body, yet the scale doesn't move. This experience can feel discouraging and even isolating. But the reason isn't because of a lack of calories. It's that your body doesn't feel safe enough to build. Before the body stores weight, it first checks one thing. Am I safe right now? That answer is controlled by hormones, not willpower. The survival versus growth switch in your body. Your body constantly switches between two modes. Survival mode, focused on protection and energy use. Growth mode, focused on repair, storage, and rebuilding. When the body feels calm and supported, it moves into growth mode. When it feels stressed or pressured, it stays in survival mode. For women over 30, this switch becomes more sensitive. The main hormone controlling this switch is cortisol. How cortisol decides whether you gain weight. Cortisol is your primary stress hormone. Its job is to protect you during danger. When cortisol is high, the body assumes food may not be reliable or that energy will be needed quickly. In response, it burns calories faster, avoids storing fat, breaks down muscle for quick fuel, reduces digestive efficiency. This means food is used to survive, not to rebuild. After age 30, cortisol rises more easily and stays elevated longer. Even emotional stress, rushing meals, or worrying about weight can keep cortisol active enough to block weight gain. Why eating more doesn't override this signal. Many women try to out-eat this problem, but when cortisol is high, eating more does not send a safety signal. It can actually increase stress if meals feel forced or rushed. This is why you may notice feeling full but not nourished, eating more without weight change, bloating without gain, weight loss during stressful periods. The body is still in survival mode. Why this pattern is stronger after 30. For women 30 to 45, the nervous system becomes more protective. Years of emotional responsibility, work stress, dieting or overexercising, poor sleep, hormonal cycling, reduce the body's tolerance for pressure. The result is a system that stays alert more easily and requires stronger safety signals before it allows weight gain. This doesn't mean your body is weaker. It means it's more sensitive and more cautious. Why doctors often miss the safety issue. Standard medical tests look for disease, not stress response. Cortisol patterns, nervous system tone, and hormonal communication are rarely measured. So many women are told, "You're healthy. You just have a fast metabolism. Eat more calories." But metabolism speed isn't the core issue. Safety signaling is. What makes the body feel safe enough to build? Safety doesn't come from perfection, it comes from consistency. Signals that lower cortisol and invite growth include regular meals without urgency, predictable daily rhythms, gentle movement instead of exhaustion, adequate rest and sleep, reduced emotional pressure around food and weight. These signals tell the body energy is reliable and it's okay to store. Why this matters for estrogen and progesterone. When cortisol lowers, estrogen and progesterone regain influence. Estrogen supports tissue growth and metabolic balance. Progesterone supports calm, digestion, and recovery. Together, they shift the body from protection into rebuilding. Without safety, these hormones can't do their job fully no matter how much you eat. Healthy weight gain doesn't begin with calories. It begins when your body feels safe. For women over 30, reducing stress signals and supporting hormonal calm is the first and most important step. When safety returns, weight gain becomes a natural outcome, not a constant struggle. Cortisol, the stress hormone that quietly blocks weight gain. Stress can burn calories faster than food can replace them. Many women don't realize that stress alone can keep them underweight. You may be eating regularly, choosing nourishing foods, and still watching your weight stay the same or even drop during difficult periods. This happens because cortisol, your main stress hormone, has a powerful influence on how your body uses energy. When cortisol stays high, weight gain becomes almost impossible, not because you're doing something wrong, but because your body is trying to protect you. What cortisol is designed to do. Cortisol is not a bad hormone. In short bursts, it helps you stay alert, regulate blood sugar, respond to challenges. The problem starts when cortisol stays elevated for long periods. For women 30 to 45, this is increasingly common due to work pressure, emotional load, poor sleep, and years of pushing through fatigue. How high cortisol changes the way your body uses food. When cortisol remains high, the body shifts into survival mode. In this state, calories are burned quickly for immediate energy. Muscle tissue is broken down to release fuel. Fat storage is reduced. Digestion and nutrient absorption slow. Even if you eat enough, your body treats food as short-term fuel instead of long-term nourishment. This is why weight gain stalls. Why cortisol rises more easily after 30. After age 30, the nervous system becomes more sensitive to stress. Recovery from emotional and physical strain takes longer. Small stressors, skipping meals, rushing, overexercising, worrying about weight can keep cortisol elevated throughout the day. For many women, cortisol never fully comes down. The body stays alert, even when it should be resting and rebuilding. The wired but tired pattern. One of the clearest signs of cortisol dominance is feeling mentally alert but physically exhausted, productive but depleted afterward, hungry but unable to gain weight. This happens because cortisol stimulates the brain while draining the body. Over time, this pattern leads to low reserves and stalled weight gain. Cortisol's effect on other weight gain hormones. High cortisol doesn't act alone. It interferes with other hormones needed for weight gain. It reduces insulin sensitivity, so nutrients don't enter cells efficiently. It suppresses progesterone, reducing calm and recovery. It destabilizes estrogen, affecting metabolism and tissue repair. This hormonal interference is why stress affects weight so deeply. Why tests often miss cortisol-driven weight issues. Cortisol changes throughout the day. A single blood test may look normal, even if your nervous system is under constant strain. This leaves many women feeling confused and dismissed, despite clear physical signs. The issue isn't disease, it's chronic stress signaling. Doctor-approved ways to lower cortisol. Naturally, Lowering cortisol doesn't require drastic changes. It requires consistency and gentleness. Eating regularly to prevent blood sugar dips. Reducing high-intensity exercise. Slowing down meals. Creating predictable routines. Protecting sleep. These habits send the message that energy is reliable and danger has passed. Why lower cortisol makes weight gain possible. When cortisol lowers, the body shifts out of survival mode. Insulin works better, progesterone supports calm and digestion, and estrogen can support tissue building again. Food finally becomes nourishment instead of emergency fuel. If stress is high, weight gain will stay blocked no matter how much you eat. For women over 30, calming cortisol is not optional, it's foundational. When stress hormones quiet, your body can finally stop burning through energy and begin the process of healthy, natural weight gain. Estrogen, the hormone that helps the body build and maintain weight. Weight gain needs estrogen stability, not extremes. Many women are surprised to hear that estrogen plays a key role in healthy weight gain. Estrogen is often talked about in relation to periods or mood, but it also helps the body decide whether to build, store, and maintain tissue. When estrogen signaling is unstable, weight gain becomes difficult even when you're eating enough. After age 30, estrogen doesn't necessarily drop dramatically. Instead, it becomes more sensitive and reactive, especially to stress. This sensitivity changes how the body responds to food, rest, and recovery. What estrogen is meant to do for weight. In a supported body, estrogen helps regulate metabolism so calories are used efficiently, support muscle and tissue maintenance, improve insulin sensitivity so nutrients enter cells, balance appetite and energy use. When estrogen signaling is steady, the body feels safe enough to hold onto weight instead of burning through it. Why estrogen becomes unstable after 30. For women 30 to 45, estrogen often fluctuates more due to chronic stress and elevated cortisol, poor or irregular sleep, past dieting or overexercising, emotional load and mental pressure. These factors don't always lower estrogen levels. Instead, they disrupt how estrogen communicates with the brain and metabolic systems. This is why labs may look normal, but the body doesn't behave normally. Hormone fluctuation versus hormone deficiency. This distinction is critical. Most women struggling to gain weight are not estrogen deficient. They're experiencing estrogen fluctuation and reduced responsiveness. This means estrogen is present, but its signals are inconsistent. The body doesn't receive a clear build and maintain message. Standard blood tests measure how much estrogen is in the blood, not how effectively it's working in tissues. This gap explains why many women feel unheard when results come back fine. How estrogen instability shows up. When estrogen can't stabilize metabolic signals, you may notice difficulty gaining or maintaining weight, losing weight easily during stress, feeling thin but not strong, appetite that doesn't translate into tissue building, energy that feels uneven. This isn't a food problem, it's a signaling problem. The cortisol-estrogen connection. High cortisol directly disrupts estrogen signaling. Under stress, estrogen receptors become less responsive. Metabolic balance shifts toward burning. The body avoids storing energy. After 30, cortisol stays elevated longer, which makes estrogen instability more likely even with good nutrition. Why fixing estrogen with force backfires? Trying to force results, pushing workouts, restricting or overcorrecting food, stressing about progress raises cortisol. This further destabilizes estrogen and keeps the body in protection mode. Estrogen does not respond to pressure. It responds to predictability and calm. Doctor-approved ways to support estrogen naturally. Supporting estrogen for weight gain means creating consistency, eating regular, balanced meals, avoiding long fasting gaps, choosing gentle strength training over intense cardio, protecting sleep rhythm, reducing emotional pressure around food and body image. These habits help estrogen deliver steady metabolic signals again. Why estrogen support takes time. Estrogen stability builds gradually. After years of stress, the body needs repeated safety signals before it shifts out of burn mode. This is normal, and it's why patience matters after 30. Healthy weight gain requires stable estrogen signaling. After 30, estrogen doesn't need force or extremes. It needs calm, consistency, and support. When estrogen can clearly communicate it's safe to build, the body becomes far more willing to gain and maintain weight naturally. Progesterone, the calming hormone that allows weight gain to happen. Your body won't store weight if it can't slow down. Many women focus on food and exercise when weight gain feels difficult, but overlook one critical requirement: the body must be calm enough to rebuild. That calming signal comes largely from progesterone. If progesterone can't do its job, the body stays alert, tense, and unwilling to store weight no matter how much you eat. After age 30, progesterone becomes more sensitive to stress, making this issue far more common in women 30 to 45. What progesterone is meant to do. Progesterone is often called the calming or rest and repair hormone. In a supported body, it calms the nervous system, supports deep sleep and recovery, improves digestion and nutrient absorption, signals safety so the body can rebuild tissue. Progesterone doesn't directly add weight. Instead, it creates the internal environment where weight gain becomes possible. Why progesterone struggles after 30. After 30, many women experience years of high stress and mental load, inconsistent sleep, overtraining or constant busyness, undereating during stressful periods. All of these raise cortisol, and cortisol directly interferes with progesterone's calming effect. Even if progesterone levels look normal on tests, cortisol can overpower it, leaving the body stuck in alert mode. This is why many women feel tired but unable to fully relax, hungry but unable to gain weight, wired at night but exhausted during the day. How low progesterone effect shows up. When progesterone can't calm the system, you may notice light or broken sleep, digestive discomfort, anxiety or restlessness, difficulty recovering from workouts, weight loss during emotional stress. These are not signs of weakness. They are signs that the body hasn't received a clear signal that it's safe to slow down. Progesterone and digestion. Weight gain requires efficient digestion. Progesterone helps slow gut movement so nutrients are absorbed, reduce digestive stress, improve appetite comfort. When progesterone is suppressed by stress, food may pass through quickly or feel uncomfortable, limiting how much nourishment the body can actually use. Why progesterone matters more after 30. In your 20s, the body could recover quickly from stress and still rebuild. After 30, recovery takes longer. Progesterone becomes the gatekeeper for restoration. Without its calming influence, estrogen and insulin can't do their rebuilding work effectively. This is why women over 30 often feel like their body is always on, even when they're resting. Why forcing relaxation doesn't work. Telling yourself to just relax doesn't calm progesterone. Pressure of any kind raises cortisol. Progesterone responds to gentle consistency, not commands. Calm is created slowly through repeated safety signals. Doctor-approved ways to support progesterone naturally. Supporting progesterone means protecting calm, eating regularly to prevent blood sugar stress, reducing late-night stimulation, choosing gentle movement over intensity, creating predictable daily rhythms, allowing rest without guilt. These habits reduce cortisol so progesterone can regain influence. How progesterone unlocks weight gain. When progesterone is supported, sleep deepens, digestion improves, anxiety lowers, recovery increases. Only then does the body feel safe enough to store energy and rebuild tissue. Healthy weight gain requires more than calories. It requires calm. Progesterone creates the safety signal that allows the body to slow down and build. For women over 30, supporting progesterone is often the missing step that finally makes natural weight gain possible. Your hormone-supportive weight gain plan, natural and pressure-free. Healthy weight gain doesn't happen when the body is pushed. It happens when the body feels safe, nourished, and supported. For women 30 to 45, hormones respond more to signals than to effort. When cortisol calms, estrogen stabilizes, and progesterone can do its calming work, the body naturally shifts from burning energy to rebuilding it. This plan focuses on creating that shift gently and consistently. Morning. Calm cortisol. Before it sets the day's tone. The first hour after waking strongly influences stress hormones. Wake without rushing whenever possible. Avoid immediately checking your phone. Eat within 60 minutes of waking. Early nourishment lowers cortisol and stabilizes blood sugar. This tells the body that energy is available, so it doesn't need to stay alert or burn fuel quickly. For women over 30, delaying food often keeps cortisol elevated for hours, quietly blocking weight gain. Eating rhythm, reliability over quantity. Weight gain requires the body to trust that food is consistent. Eat every 3 to 4 hours. Include protein, carbohydrates, and healthy fats at each meal. Avoid long gaps or saving food for later. This steady rhythm supports insulin, allowing nutrients to enter cells and be used for rebuilding. For hormone-sensitive women, when you eat often matters more than how much. Portions without pressure. Forcing food raises stress hormones. Increase portions slowly over time. Choose foods that feel comforting and easy to digest. Eat in a calm, seated environment. Calm eating lowers cortisol. Lower cortisol allows estrogen to support tissue building and progesterone to support digestion and recovery. Movement. Build without triggering stress. Exercise should support hormones, not drain them. Focus on gentle strength training. Limit high-intensity cardio. Allow full rest days. Too much intensity keeps cortisol and thyroid hormones elevated. Gentle resistance combined with rest tells the body it's safe to build muscle and store energy, especially important after 30. Stress reduction, lower the survival signal. Your body won't gain weight if it feels under threat. Practice slow breathing daily. Reduce multitasking. Create short pauses throughout the day. Even brief moments of calm reduce cortisol and improve hormone communication. This helps estrogen and progesterone regain influence over metabolism. Evening. Prepare hormones for repair. Evenings decide whether the body repairs or stays alert. Dim lights early. Reduce screens before bed. Eat a balanced dinner. Avoid emotionally intense conversations late. These signals help progesterone support deep rest and prevent estrogen-driven mental alertness from disrupting sleep. Sleep, the hidden weight gain tool. Sleep directly affects every hormone involved in weight gain. Aim for consistent bedtimes. Don't stress about broken sleep. Rest during the day if needed. After 30, sleep quality matters more than quantity. Better sleep lowers cortisol and improves insulin, estrogen, and progesterone signaling. Why this plan works. This approach works because it removes urgency and pressure. It calms cortisol, stabilizes insulin, supports estrogen balance, allows progesterone to create safety. When the body feels supported, it stops burning through energy and begins rebuilding naturally. You don't need to force weight gain. You need to create the conditions where your body feels safe enough to build. With calm routines, consistent nourishment, gentle movement, and protected rest, hormones shift out of survival mode, and healthy weight gain becomes possible without pressure. Conclusion. If gaining weight has felt confusing or frustrating, it's important to remember that your body isn't broken. For many women, especially between 30 and 45, difficulty gaining weight is not about food or effort. It's about how hormones respond to stress, safety, and support. Healthy weight gain begins when pressure is replaced with consistency, nourishment, rest, and calm. Small daily habits that lower stress, stabilize blood sugar, and protect sleep allow estrogen, progesterone, and cortisol to work together again. And when hormones work together, the body naturally moves toward balance. Small daily habits create powerful hormonal shifts. When you support your body instead of fighting it, hormones begin working with you, not against you. This content is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you for watching.